All right. Welcome everybody to the Thursday call. I've got Shannon McCumber on the line, and I've got myself. I'm Jana Garcia, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and Shannon is an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And we are so excited because tonight we are going to talk about one of both of our very favorite topics, and that is we're going to talk about the products and what our company is based on. And so, we feel like we have the best company, we have the best comp plan, but all of that wouldn't be anything if we didn't have the best products. So that is what we're going to talk about tonight. And so the first thing I want to say is that we are going to be giving a lot of information tonight. So I'm hoping you have a pen and paper handy so that you can jot down some notes. I'm also going to ask you to stay on to the very end of the call because I heard a very wise lady say one time that you never know if that little bit of nugget that you got in the last 5 minutes changed your entire business. Mm-hmm. And so the other thing is, Shannon, I think we should have probably a little bit of a question and answer at the end because I know a lot of people have questions about this. So we are going to jump right in, and Shannon is going to start us off with our very first topic.
Okay. I am excited about tonight, and the reason I'm excited, if you are, maybe this is your first time on the call and you don't know a lot about my history, I joined Plexus in 2013, almost 4 years ago. In June, it'll be 4 years. And when I joined, all I really wanted was to get healthy. I was a self-admitted couch potato. I was not active. I didn't work out. I didn't do anything. I ate everything I wanted when I wanted. Little Debbie was my best friend, and Mountain Dew was my jam. Or Dr. Pepper, take your pick. I'd take either one of them. But I got started with Plexus. I got healthy. I started taking my supplements the right way. I started eating right. And the reason I did all that, and not everybody has to do that, that's just the route I chose because my theory was, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it full out and I'm going to be committed to it 100%. If I'm going to join a health and wellness company, then I'm going to commit to it because I truly want to be an example of that health and wellness. But when I started, I wasn't like that. My goal was to get healthy, and that's what I did. And I just started sharing with people as I went. And so anyways, over the last 4 years, I've really developed this love for nutrition and working out and really learning how to coach a customer and how to talk to someone about products and determining what products work best for them specifically. Because we have lots of products, but maybe 1 or 2 of those products aren't really suited for them specifically. So there are things that we need to ask our customers or prospects in order to figure out what's going to be best for them. Because here's the thing, yes, we want to grow our business. Yes, we do want to make money, but that should not be your sole purpose or your focus when trying to get customers. You should have a servant's attitude. How can I serve this customer? What is going to be the best for them? Not for you, not the best for your bottom dollar. What's the best for them as a customer? What's going to serve them the most? And so we're going to start. So I hope you have some paper and a pen or a pencil with you, or an iPad, something you can type on. And I'm going to give you some basic questions that you should ask prospects when you're talking to them. And when I say prospects, customers, when you're talking to them and discussing things, what you should bring up and talk to them. Okay. The first one is, now I'm going to go through these questions, and it's hard to tell you this is how you should do it, but it should really be in a very relaxed manner. It should not be robotic. It should not be like it should be in a very conversational manner. You know what I'm saying? Like you're sitting down and you're having coffee with somebody, or sharing a pink drink with somebody, but it should be a normal kind of flowy conversation. Okay. So I usually will start talking to somebody and I'll say, hey, I'm so excited that you're interested in the products. And so what I like to do with all of my potential customers is to, go over a list of questions, because more than anything, I want you to find the right products for you. I can always recommend products to start off with, but it would really be better for you and more beneficial for your health journey to figure out a little bit about you and what your goals are. So that's how I usually start the conversation. And then I lead in with these questions. The first one is, do you find yourself craving sweets, breads, pasta, or chips? I think that's a great question to start off with, because number one, that gives you an idea of the types of foods that they are eating without you actually saying, do you eat chips? Do you eat ice cream? Do you eat pasta every night? So it kind of opens up the door for you to kind of figure out what they're eating, what they're putting into their body. And based on what they say, that will help you determine the types of products that they need and what's going to work best for them. So for instance, if they say, yes, I do crave sweets, breads, pasta, chips, then that should signal you to think, okay, the products that I think that may be beneficial to them right now, number one is Plexus Slim, because it helps reduce our cravings and help to cut back on binge eating. And then the other one would be our probiotic, the Probio 5, because that's going to go in and help break down that big bulk of yeast that they have growing in their stomach. Because if they're craving those things on a regular basis, that means that the yeast in their stomach is too much, and we need to get that back down to a normal level. So that's the first question. Do you find yourself craving sweets, breads, pasta, or chips? All right. The second question would be, so tell me a little bit about if you get sleepy. Do you crash in the afternoon between 2 and 3? Or do you get sleepy after meals, between meals? Do you find yourself getting sleepy? And a lot of times people, I've never really had anyone say no. They usually say, yes, how'd you know that? But that's going to tell you, if they say yes, and that means that they're having a little bit of trouble possibly with their blood sugar being stabilized. And so they need the pink drink to help them get their blood sugar in check and balanced out. And a lot of people, and they'll say, well, I don't have blood sugar issues. Well, I didn't have blood sugar issues either. I don't have diabetes, but our blood sugar can go up and down, and it is determined by the foods that we eat. So that's going to happen, and you just kind of have to talk that out with them. So that lets you know that they need the Slim for sure. So that's something you'll just have to discuss with them. All right, the third one is, let's talk about how you feel when you wake up in the morning. Do you feel refreshed, like you slept great all night, or do you wake up and you feel tired, you feel tense? Do you feel like you have to hit that snooze button 5 or 6 times? Really kind of find out how they feel when they wake up. And so if they say, I don't, I really sleep, I'm very restless, I don't sleep well at night, I kind of have a lot of problems, I really get tired during the day, so usually that lets me know that obviously they have trouble sleeping. And one of the biggest parts of losing weight is rest. And a lot of people don't think about that, and they don't consider that if you're not rested and you give your body and your organs time to sit back and rest and relax, then they're constant in that state of stress and movement and working. And so they never have time to sit back and process everything that's going on in your body. So sleep is huge. And that's why it's important when you talk to your customers to find out if they get good rest at night. Now, if they say no, then that should trigger you right there that they need to be able to get good sleep. Now, if you don't know this, our Mega X has omegas in it, and those omegas will help people relax in the evenings. Now, I'm not going to say that's every person, because everybody reacts differently to our products, because we're all metabolically and intrinsically different. So, but most people do, when they take Mega X at night, they do get really good sleep. Now, and if it's in their budget, I would also have them take the probiotics at night too. So the Probio 5 and the Mega X is what I would recommend to somebody who's struggling with sleep. I can't tell you how many customers that I've gained simply by starting them on Probio 5 and Mega X, because they told me, I can't sleep. My girlfriends will post, I can't sleep at night, I'm so tired. And so I tell them, it's like, look, just try this, Probio 5 and Mega X at night, to see if it'll help you get some good rest. Try it for 30 to 60 days and let me know how you feel. And they always end up becoming a customer because they sleep good. And I'm telling you, people who get good sleep, they will be lifers as customers because we love sleep, especially when you can wake up refreshed and happy and ready to attack the day. All right, the next question is, and this is a question that maybe some people would feel kind of awkward about asking or feel backward about asking. But here's the thing, if you're going to be a health coach, and you are, if you're an independent ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, you are a health coach. So you got to act like one, you got to talk like one. So, and that means you got to ask the hard questions sometimes. And this next question is, let's talk about elimination. Are you able to go to the bathroom and eliminate at least once a day? Now, what you're looking for is for them to tell you, yep, I go to the bathroom at least once a day. I'm fairly regular. I don't have any issues. Now, if they say, oh, girl, no, I only go like once a week. Okay, obviously they need some help because everybody's body should be eliminating at least once a day. If you are on this call and you are not eliminating once a day, please get with somebody to tell you what you need to take. And I can tell you right now, that's BioCleanse. You need to get you some BioCleanse and start taking it. Okay, just stay straight up to say poop, not elimination. It varies on the person. Some people get very offended by the word poop. Some people don't. So if you're very familiar with the person, then yes, feel free to say whatever you want. But if you're not very familiar with the person, watch your language, because some people will be put off by saying the word poop. And there's other words you can say too, but I won't say those on the call. But that's up to you. I choose to say elimination, especially if it's somebody that I'm not personal friends with. And if you're out there making new connections with people, most people are not going to be your personal friends. So choose your words wisely. But yes, if you are talking to someone and they tell you that they're not going once a day, then you know that that triggers you that they need to take BioCleanse. That needs to be added to their regimen as well. Okay, the next one is, and this is a very important question to ask because a lot of people look over it and it's very important. And you need to let them know that when I'm talking to them, I say, okay, now in order for me to really get a good assessment of your health, I need to ask you questions about your health. And it's not that I'm trying to be nosy or into your business, but I do need to know, have you been diagnosed with anything particular by your doctor? And that way it kind of opens the door up for discussion about any type of sicknesses or ailments or diseases that they may have. Because it's important to know if somebody just stopped cancer treatments a month ago, you need to know that when you start products, because you need to handle that situation with a little bit more care. I mean, always handle things with care, but especially anybody who's just coming off a major illness, you need to know that because they may still be under doctor's care and you don't want to be doing things that you shouldn't be. But it's good to know if someone has fibromyalgia or they have Crohn's disease or any other type of autoimmune disease. Those are all good to know so that you can make sure that you're offering and there's so many different things. I can't go into saying exactly what you would recommend for every single thing. So, but that is something you would have to research. We have customer groups where you can go in, search for a particular disease, and it will pull up lots of testimonies and things that other people have used to combat those type of diseases. All right, and then the next one, there's two more questions. The next one is, are you currently on any medications? You definitely want to ask potential customers if they're on medications, especially if somebody says they're on thyroid medicines. You want to make sure that they are separating out their products when they take those for at least 1 to 2 hours after they take their thyroid medications. And those are just little things that, we don't expect you guys to know all these things at once, but this is why this call is important, because it gives you knowledge and a base of how to talk to potential customers and how to bring those things up in just casual conversation with them. So ask them about the medications that they're taking. And if you're not sure if there are certain things that interact with the medications that they're on, then you just need to be honest and upfront and say, hey, I'm just starting out with this. And so I just want to check with my business partners to make sure that there aren't any type of interactions that could be caused with your medication, because we want to make sure you find success more than anything. So let me look into that to be certain. Okay, and the last one is, do you currently take any other vitamins or supplements? This is a question lots of people forget to ask, because if they're taking vitamins already, and then you're telling them to go buy X Factor vitamins, then they're taking 2 vitamins on top of each other. There's really no need to do that. So find out what they're taking, and then that also gives you the idea of how ready they are to take supplements or to take vitamins. Because if they're already taking a vitamin, then it's going to be very easy for you to help them make that transition into our vitamin, and why our vitamin is a better vitamin. And if you don't know that, that's a whole nother call. So you can look that up, search it, talk to your upline if you're not sure why our vitamin is better. And so that's the basic questions that I run through when I am talking to potential customers. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 questions that I go through, and I do a basic health assessment with them. It usually, when I'm on the phone with somebody, it takes me 25 to 30 minutes to go through this type of conversation that I just went through with you in 15, 16 minutes, but maybe shorter than that. But it will help you in your business. And it also gives that person a little bit of validation that you've sat and taken the time to get to know them, to find out what they need, and that you're not just coming off as somebody trying to get a sale. Because we don't ever want to come off that way, that we're just trying to get a sale, that we're just trying to make a buck. Because we want people to know that we care about their health, and that's why we're doing this. Yes, we want to make money, and we will make money in this business, but letting people know that you're in it for the right reasons, and that's to help them find the same amazing health that you have, that's the most important thing. All right, now we are going to move on to the next part, which is preparing the customer about what can come up, what's going to happen when they receive their products, and then where do we go from there? And Jana's going to take that over.
Yes, and Shannon, I love the way you explain that. And I also want to remind everybody that this is being recorded. So it's a lot of information, but this is a good one to go back and listen to again. And I kind of was taking notes, Shannon, and what I did was to make it shorter. Is I just said 1, cravings, 2, energy, 3, sleep, 4, poop or go to the restroom, or whatever you say. 5 is health issues, 6 is medications, and 7 is other supplements.
Yes.
So I love the way that you explained it all, but I think if everybody keeps a little list like this, they'll it'll refresh their mind as to what all that you talked about.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I thought that was great. And the preparing the customer part, first of all, I just want to say that Shannon taught me something really valuable when we first started and we were working together, and we were having customers and we were having people sign up, and left and right, it was like we get a customer and then we turn them into an ambassador, and it was just like training and coaching and all over the place. And one time Shannon said, and I'll still remember this to this day, and I still train on this all the time, because a lot of people it doesn't occur to them that your ambassadors are also customers. And that is so golden, because when you sign up an ambassador, they may not have been a customer for 6 months. They may not have been a customer for 1 month. Maybe they tried the products for 2 weeks. Maybe they just signed up for the business side of it, and this is the first time they've ever even tried the products. So we have to treat our ambassadors like customers and do all the things that we're saying to do right now. Same thing with your ambassadors. Your ambassadors need to know what the products are going to do. They need to know what all other, I think that one mistake we made in the beginning was that we assumed that if somebody signed up and they had a back office and they had access to all the stuff we had access to, suddenly they were going to become product gurus and they were going to love the products. And that's so far from the truth. We found that out in that we had people coming to us that were ambassadors, and it was like, these people don't know anything about the product.
Right.
So that was, it was so huge for me that that is just like so on my mind all the time. So I treat all my ambassadors like customers until I know they are at the level that I need them to be, to where they can coach on the products as well. So preparing your customer / ambassador for the products, this is either before or after the sale. Before the sale, they need to know that these products are going to take some time. It's not an overnight fix. What we have is a health supplement system that for one thing, everybody is different. Every person's body is different. Every product is going to react differently. You guys are talking in the chat about this thing and this thing, and Shannon was talking about the different things, health issues that you have. People are on different supplements when they start out. That was huge, Shannon. And I think that's so important for us to remember that people are already taking stuff. Maybe somebody, like I have people that I know in my life that take Metamucil every day. Well, when they're taking the BioCleanse, they need to start out with just the BioCleanse and, not do one on top of the other in any supplement case. So preparing people on what they need to take, but also preparing them for the time, how long it's going to take. And a lot of times people want a magic pill that's going to help them overnight. I have lots and lots and lots of people that in 1 week, 2 weeks, they're feeling great. Lots of people that happens to. I don't know what the percentage is company-wide, but in my own case, my ambassadors and my customers, I have a lot of people that feel really great in the first 2 weeks. A lot of people. Not everybody is going to feel great in the first 2 weeks. And they need to know that up front. They need to know that you might not feel a difference for 30 to 60 days. I mean, it could take a while, which is why we have preferred customers, which is why when they're an ambassador, if they're signing up and they haven't tried the products, if they're an ambassador, they need to have their convenience order on, just like a preferred customer would, so that they can get their products on the same day every month. Like Shannon told me, she has her convenience order set up for the second. And she goes in and she has her convenience order set up, and her products get sent to her on the 2nd of every month. It starts her whole month out with a great new set of products. If she wants to change those products, she can. If she needs to add to them or take away whatever, that's up to her in her back office. But people need to know that this is not something they're just going to want to be on for 1 month. They're going to want to give their body some time, because it takes a while to see exactly what the products are going to do for you. I've had people that drank one pink drink and they never wanted another Dr. Pepper. One pink drink. Now, that doesn't happen very often. More what I see is 1 to 2 weeks before they start feeling a little bit better. Now, the cravings thing can be really fast. I can want a Dr. Pepper really bad from Sonic, and if I drink my pink drink, suddenly I don't want it anymore. So that is an instant effect. But you have to really know your body for it to happen that fast. People, you'll notice when people come on, if they really know their body well, they'll notice the differences a lot faster than people who've never paid attention to their health.
Right.
So the other thing I will say is that to remember and to remind people that we're not doctors. We are not health professionals.
Right.
We are just here to advise you on what we know, and what we know is what Plexus tells us. And so we don't advise people. If anybody says they're worried about something, if anybody says, well, what if I just had kidney stones removed? We always say check with your doctor. That is always the best answer. You can tell them what you did. Like, we have a lot of people that ask us about kids. And you can tell them, well, my kids can take that, not publicly, but one-on-one, you can tell my kids do this, but my pediatrician okayed it. And you need to go check with your pediatrician to make sure it's okay. That covers you, and it covers Plexus, as long as you're being compliant and you're saying that you are not a health professional. We did not go to college to be a doctor, although I think a lot of times we know way more than the doctors do, because seriously, they want to just prescribe prescription medicines, and we know there's a better way. So we don't ever want to tell somebody to get off of their prescription medicines. We don't ever want to tell people they can take a product when we don't know for sure. I would say our safest combo is the triplex. That's something that's really not forbidden by any blood pressure issues or anything like that on a normal healthy person. Now, somebody's confined to a bed, or they just had, like Shannon said, they just had surgery, then they need to check it out with their doctor first. But just preparing your customer and your ambassador for what to expect in the first couple of weeks when they first start taking the products. And the next is Shannon's going to talk next.
Okay. I think we can all agree that when we get our customers, they've ordered their products, it's important for us to get with them and set some health goals. Because once they order, that doesn't mean your job is done, okay? That doesn't mean you just collect a check and then that's it, okay? Your job's just getting started, sister and brothers. Now, I like to start with certain elements when I'm starting with a new customer. Number one, I like to determine what their weight is. So I will talk to them and discuss it with them. You know, I have them weigh themselves. And then they let me know, and I actually write it down on my like little sheet that I keep for my customers. So let's find out what their starting weight is. And then I also have them do measurements, because people can get really caught up on the scale, weighing every morning, weighing every night, and then they get, oh, I'm not losing, I'm not doing it. So I always want them to measure from the beginning. So that, and I will tell you from my own journey, I did not measure. I was told to measure by Jana, but I didn't. And I so regret that I did not measure from the beginning, because I went from a size 18, 20, and now I'm a size 10. So I really wish I would have had those measurements to go by now, because that would have a huge impact when I'm sharing with people, and I don't have that. So have them do a measure. And then the third thing is, I also recommend them, I tell them they don't have to do it, but it would be a lot easier for me to give them coaching if they will keep a for the 4 days at least. So they can write everything down that they eat, and I tell them every single thing that goes in your mouth. I don't care if it's a Tic Tac, I don't care if it's a mint. I want to know what you put in your mouth, because I'm trying to get all up in their business, but I am trying to get them on the right track and getting them the quickest way into proper health as I can. So I asked them to keep a food journal so I can go over it and look at it and discuss it with them. Okay, here are some goals, basic goals that you can establish with your customer, okay? Number one, you want to help them establish their water goal. Tell this all the time to people that you need to start drinking water. Number one, it's good for your body. You should drink water. It's good for you. And number two, it also helps to eliminate any toxins that our products are going through and cleaning out your digestive tract. It's cleaning out your liver. It's doing lots of great things, and we need the water to go in and help eliminate that and clean it out. So help them establish what their water goal is. And that should be at, normally what we recommend is half their body weight in ounces. Now, this kind of varies for me. If I have is maybe 300 pounds, 350 pounds, then that would require the 150 to 175 ounces of water. That's a lot of water for one person to consume in one day. We don't want them drinking too much, because if they start drinking too much, then their body will start retaining it, and we don't want them to retain that water. So I tell them to really shoot for 90 ounces of water a day. Now, if they're less than 180 pounds, then they're not going to need 90 ounces. But for anyone who's over 175, 180 pounds, I have them start with shooting for 90 ounces of water a day. And then I tell them, okay, the good way to gauge this is if you're going to the bathroom, you're going pee more than one time, then you're drinking too much. You shouldn't have to go to the bathroom more than about one time an hour. If you're getting that, that's a good estimate of how much water you should be getting. Okay. The second one is talk to them about their activity. I think it's good to establish a basic activity for them. Find out what their maybe they are completely sedentary, or maybe they work out, or maybe they go for walks in the evenings with their spouse, or they push their baby in the park 2 or 3 times a week. whatever that is to them, whatever that picture is, go through and talk to them about what their activity level is. And if their activity level is completely sedentary, then it's your job to encourage them to get up, to get out, to even if it's during commercials, get up and do a few squats or walk circles around your dining room table. I mean, we're really talking about people who are sedentary here, who do nothing. So getting up and making 10 or 12 laps around the dining room table really does probably get their heart rate up. And you know, and elderly folks, maybe they're not real active, but they could get up and just maybe take a couple laps around their dining room table while commercials are on, or stand up and do 10 squats every time a commercial comes on. That way, when you're watching, if you're going to sit there and you're going to watch TV, at least get up during commercials and do 10 squats. Or, you know, that's what I try to do, is try to just find fitness, how to put something in there throughout the day, especially if it's days I can't get to the gym. Okay, the third one is you need to talk to them about their food choices. We already discussed earlier about asking them if they crave sugars, carbs, sweets, chips. But here's the thing, you want to give them ideas, because you can't just say, hey, you need to eat healthy. They're gonna be like, oh, but I don't know how. I live off of Sonic, McDonald's, you know, that's what I do. So you telling them that they need to eat healthy and change what they're eating, it's gonna blow their mind. So don't just say that, say it, but also give them some suggestions as to what to do. You want to, number one, encourage them to purchase healthy snacks. If they have healthy snacks sitting around the house, then they're gonna go and eat those things instead of grabbing things that aren't healthy for them. So if they can have grapes sitting around, or cheese and crackers to eat, or pepperoni even. Yeah, I mean, even pepperoni is better than going and grabbing, you know, peanut M&Ms. I love peanut M&Ms, but I can't eat them all the time, so I got to eat them in moderation, right? The second one is you want to encourage your people to protein, because I guarantee if you talk to somebody and you ask them, so how much protein are you? They're going to be like, I have no clue. Probably they're going to really, in all honesty, when people, if they really are not health conscious at all, most likely they're not getting near enough protein that they should be getting. So you want to encourage protein. Number one, longer. So if they're going to cut out those carbs and feel satisfied for a longer period of time. And the second one is you want to encourage them to, because a lot of people love carbs. They love them. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, people love the carbs. So usually with my people just starting out, what I encourage them to do is cut all their carb intake by half. So so if you're going to go out to eat and you're going to have a burger, I either want you to cut your burger in half and only eat half of it, or I want you to take the top bun off and only eat the bottom bun. So just helping them make little choices like that, and say, you know, if you're going to go out and you have Mexican food, if you normally eat 2 or 3 tortillas, cut that back to where you only eat 1, or you eat 1.5. If you eat a whole bowl of chips, nobody's saying you can't eat chips, tortilla chips at the Mexican restaurant, but maybe count out your chips. What I do to trick my own body, because I love me some chips and salsa, y'all. I do. I had it today. But I literally will count out, and I put it on my plate, and then I break each chip into 3. So I trick myself that I'm getting 15 tortilla chips instead of 5. You play on yourself to say, okay, I'm really getting a lot of carbs, but you're really not. So that's what I do, and it really works for me. And we're talking mindful eating here, and just a little bit about tips and tricks to help your body eating better. Okay, and then the last, you want to encourage them to reduce or completely eliminate soda and tea and coffee even. I'm pretty stringent. I don't drink anything but water. And maybe milk sometimes in the evenings, and I think milk's okay because I get good fat and I get protein. So, but it's still a carb, so I still get carbs from it. So that's in moderation too. But, you know, but a lot of people who are drinking sodas and consuming a lot of sweet teas, they might balk at first about giving all that up. So at the very least, just encourage them to reduce what they're taking. So if you're drinking 4 sodas a day, I only want you to drink 2. Cut that back to 2 for this week. And then maybe the second week, we'll cut that back to 1. And then the third week, we're going to cut that back to none, because more than anything, we want you off that soda, because it's not good for your body. It's absolutely doing nothing good for your body. You just like the taste of it, and that's it. And it's a habit. And it's a bad habit at that, so let's break it. And then the last one is fiber. You want to encourage your people to consume fiber. In this day and age, people do not get enough fiber in their diets. We want them to have veggies, we want them to have fruits, and we want them to have whole grains. So they need to get that fiber in their bodies. If they don't like whole grains, then don't eat whole grains. Find another way to do it. It's okay. So it for me for helping your customers set health goals. If you have questions, you can ask them at the end of the call, okay, when we do the Q&A. All right, now we're going to head over to Jana, and she is going to talk about starting small and how to get started.
Okay, and y'all let me know if my internet is stopping or slow, because
it's a little bit slow, but you're okay now.
Okay, because yours was, and I wasn't sure if it was mine or yours.
Yeah, you're slow.
Okay.
Okay, now you're back on.
Okay, so I'm hoping that this will take. Okay, so what we're talking about is starting small, but let me tell you something real quick about what Shannon just went over. 98% of the people that come to us want to lose weight. 98% of ambassadors.
You're cutting out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know if it's going to be stable, because it's like it was messing up when you were talking.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, we'll just go with it.
Okay, so when you freeze, I know I'm freezing too.
Right.
So everyone wants to lose weight. And if you are doing these things that Shannon's telling you to do, it's going to up your rate of customer retention. It's going to make your business so much more successful when you are coaching your customers and your ambassadors to do these things that she's talking about. And it will also help you. Okay? So these things that Shannon's talking about are so important. And if I'm freezing up right now, it's not going to be freezing up on, if it's freezing up, it's not going to be freezing up on the recording, because I'm the one recording it. I think it'll be okay on the recording. But I'm just going to talk real quick about starting small. Our products are very natural, but they're also very potent. I know I can look at Shannon, and when she's freezing up, I know my computer's freezing. Aaron. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get somebody to come fix my computer. Can you tell them that it's...
She got to call one of her teenage kids.
No, I'm calling Rod, actually. Okay, so just starting small with our products. Our products are natural, but they're also very potent. They can be very potent. And so you need to keep that in mind when somebody's starting out, that they need to just start out on one of most of our products. So 1 Bio Cleanse, 1 Pro Bio, 1 Slim a day to start out with, 1 Accelerator, or if you're doing Boost, 1 Boost. You don't know how somebody's going to react to our products, so they have to start small. The other thing I was going to say about what Shannon said about the drinking the water thing, that is so huge. And one story I'll tell you from Shannon's freezing up again, so I think I am too. When I started these products, as soon as Shannon starts moving again, I know I'm okay. When I started these products, I had kidney stones, really, really bad. Yeah, keep moving, Shannon.
Just freeze.
I had kidney stones really bad. And so I took these products to my urologist. And had him look at them.
Right.
And he said, all of these products are great, but they will cause you to release toxins. And if you are not drinking enough water, those toxins will stay in your body and cause problems. So everyone needs to drink enough water to flush those toxins. Very, very important to do that. Very important to flush those toxins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. So,
did you all get all that? Did you get all that? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you did or not, but I don't know what's wrong with my internet.
I said she wants you guys to start small. Don't feel like somebody's got to get on there and take 4 ProBio 5 all at once. I've literally had one gentleman that's been on 1 ProBio for 2 months because every time he goes up, his body freaks out because it's just too much for him. And I said, that's okay. Just stick with it. Be steady. Be consistent. That's the important part of it. Something that Sarah put in, that it's not important, that it's important to not throw all this on customers all at once. I do this with customers all at once because I want to give them a leg up right from the beginning. I tell them at the beginning, there's no reason to be afraid, no reason to be scared because I'm going to be coaching them through every bit of it. I give them my cell phone number. I say, if you have questions, you have concerns, you send me a text, I'll help you with whatever I can. I make myself completely 100% available to my customers. Now, I don't have 50 customers. So, you know, but I'm working on that because I do. I have really excited about getting new customers right now, and so I'm loving it. But I go through all new customer within 30 to 45 minutes just to kind of find out information about them, what I need to do, what I don't need to do, just to get a good handle on where we're heading with that, and to also give them a leg up. So they're doing everything they can to get started. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is mindful eating. And this is something that, write this list down, a cute little graphic, and you can send it to your customers. I don't send the graphic. I usually tell them this over the phone, and I have them write it down because I say, I want to give you tips on how to help you mentally find success with what we're getting ready to, with a mental part of this is huge for people. Talking about people who perhaps have been sick or overweight for a long period of time. So a lot of times they're very insecure. They don't have real good self-esteem. And so the mental game in this is huge for them. So that's the biggest part of this, is that you are their cheerleader. You are there to support them and to give them as much guidance through this as you possibly can. So these are just some tips that you can give them to help them find success with their eating and with their nutrition. Okay, the first one is you want to encourage your people to sit down to eat. A lot of times people are walking around the kitchen, or their kids are sitting down to eat, but they're keep walking around and you know, and they're just eating it as they're going. Okay, first of all, you need to enjoy the moment. Even if you have to tell them, hey, this is a nourishment break. This is time for you to sit down and to give your body the nourishment that it needs. So don't do it when you're running around and eating in your car. And there are times that that's going to happen, but it doesn't always happen that way. So whenever you can, sit down, eat. Take time to sit down. Remove distraction when you're eating, so that you're not mindlessly eating, because sometimes we'll sit down to eat and we're doing this, or we're working on something, or scrolling through our phone, and we're just sitting there shoveling it in and not thinking about how much we're eating. And we're not thinking about, you know, did I eat too much? I'm feeling awful full now. Why did I eat all that? Well, you ate all that because, number one, you were distracted by something else. So really take time to focus when you sit down and enjoy it. It's a nourishment break for you. It's time for you to sit down, let those sympathetic nerve systems go into action and start working and letting you relax and enjoy your meal. All right, the second one is you want to chew your food. I know your mother told you this when you were 4 or 5 years old, chew your food. because she didn't want you swallowing it whole and choking on it. But I'm telling you to chew your food because number one, you need to break it down as much as you can before it gets to the stomach so that it's getting everything it needs and it's easier to digest when it gets to the stomach. So chew it up, take some time, relax, take small bites. We get in this very hurried, rushed society where we want to cram everything into our face because we've got somewhere else we got to be. But we have to change the mindset of food and how we consume it and why we're putting it in our body and how we're putting it in our body. So you want to take small bites, chew it thoroughly. Okay, the third one is put down your fork. Y'all know I was going to say that in this conversation, so put down your fork, but it's not in the way that you're thinking. When you sit down to a meal and you have your fork in your hand, you're sitting there with your fork. This is what I encourage people to do. I want you to get a bite of food, sit your fork down completely, let it go out of your hand, and chew your food up. Chew your food up, swallow it. Take a drink of water, and then pick your fork back up. Because, again, we get into that mindless eating. Think about it. At your last meal, did you put your fork down a single time? Or did you keep it in your hand the entire time like this, and then you use the other hand to get a drink, and you're doing that and getting it all down as quick as you can? So you want to take your fork and put it down. Literally put it down, chew your food up, take a drink, and then pick your fork back up and continue your meal. You want to create an unhurried, relaxed vibe when you're sitting down to eat. Enjoy it. Savor the food that you're eating. Because here's the thing. It takes the brain 20 minutes to tell your stomach that it's full. So if you're sitting there and you're taking the time to put your fork down, take a drink, chew your food up, engage the people that you're sitting and talking with, enjoy it, savor the food. Soon enough, 20 minutes has passed by and you're probably not even halfway through your meal because you're actually taking the time to enjoy your meal and thinking about what you're putting in your mouth and what you're consuming. The next one is be a social eater. It's very hard in today's day and age. We have these that are everywhere. I highly encourage you when you're out to eat with someone, when you're at the dinner table with your children, or you're sitting and having lunch with your spouse, put your phone away and put it in your purse or in your pocket and engage the person that's with you because it takes your mind off total consumption of your food. Enjoy the quality time with the people that you're with, okay? It's important. It's important for your mental capacity. And the next one is do not eat when you're starving. This is it's like don't go shopping when you're hungry because you buy things you shouldn't buy. So you don't want to eat when you're starving. So here's how you need to avoid that. Number one, you're going to have a tendency to overeat if you eat when you're starving. So the way you can combat that is to make sure that you have healthy snacks with you. People that know me, Jana, Sarah, Lou, people that are with me, they know that I have snacks with me all the time. I will have snacks in my purse, in my pocket, because I get hangry if I don't eat. And they all know this. And probably they carry snacks in their purses for me in case I don't. That's a true story, you guys. I have had people carry food for me so I don't get hungry. But keep healthy snacks available. Keep something in your car, keep something in your purse so that you don't starve and you can snack on something until you are able to eat a good lunch, a good meal. All right, number 6, this is a great tip. This is what helped me so much. And I was like, my mind was blown when I found out about it. Here it is. When you go out to dinner this is if you go out to dinner, okay? When you order a meal, whatever it is, say you go to Olive Garden and you order lasagna. And yes, I go to Olive Garden and I order lasagna. I eat real food. When I get it, I cut it in half. I immediately ask for a to-go box. When I get my food, I ask for a to-go box. They bring it. I immediately take half my food out and I put it in that to-go box so that I don't eat it. And I save it and I take it home and I save it for another meal. That way, I'm only eating half of what is given to me. If you have the whole thing sitting in front of you, your tendency is, well, I'm only going to eat half of it. Then you eat your half And then you're still sitting there waiting for everybody else to get done. So then you start picking at it. Raise your hand if you've done it. Me. You know, and so then I'll eat bread, you know, I'll get bread, half it, put half in there, salad, I'll put my normal half in there. And so that's a good tip. Now, if you're at home eating dinner, and you're eating with your children and your spouse, I want you to scoop out half of what you normally would be scooping out. So if you're serving burgers at home at night, like we talked about earlier, cut it in half and only eat half that burger. Now, I had to really get past food waste. That was a big thing for me because I was raised, you don't ever waste food. So if you put it on your plate, if you get a burger and you cut it in half, don't waste the other half. So I try to save it, or I share with my children. My 6-year-old, we will order a burger and split it, and I share it with her. So I'm basically eating what my 6-year-old eats. And people think, oh, that's not enough. Yeah, it is. Your stomach's just distorted and you're eating too much food. But yes, a half a burger and something else is plenty. I assure you, you won't die. I assure you. And then, all right, this is the last one. God gave us food to eat, okay? And you should enjoy food. You should savor food. When you sit down to eat it, enjoy it. You know, think about the texture in the food and the taste of the food. Really take it in. And I know that sounds silly and that seems crazy, but it's really not. You know what I mean? It's really not. Take the time to enjoy what you're eating. And yes, other people are saying you can use smaller plates. Yes, smaller plates and even dark plates. It's been proven that if you eat off a plate that's blue or black, a dark color, you will eat less food because it's not as inviting as it is on a bright white plate or a yellow plate. Just a little tip for you. But anyways, in all of this, I want you to remember that, and you should tell this to your customers, this is a journey. It's not a race to try and lose 100 pounds or to try to lose 20 pounds in a month. While that may happen, it's not likely that that will happen unless you are really committing to a complete change in your diet, changing your activity level, and adding supplements. If you're doing all of that, then yes, it's highly possible to lose 20 pounds in a month, depending on your how much fat you're carrying at that time, your percentage of fat in your body. It's possible, but it's not likely. So, you know, take the time, enjoy the process, talk to your people and say, you know, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and take the time to listen to your customers when they say it's not working. Don't just brush it off and say, oh, well, you got to do this, or, oh, well, you got to do that. Talk to them and try to figure out what it is. And if you're not figuring it out, then go to your upline or somebody else in the group and say, hey, you know, what would you suggest for this? And, you know, I became a student of this. I started studying. I started looking into things because I wanted to be able to give the best advice possible to my customers. So anyways, this is really something dear to my heart, and these are all changes that I made myself and all things that I've done for myself. So I'm not just somebody up here preaching to you to do something that I've not done myself, because I've towed that line and I've gone through all this myself. I've self-talked myself through things, you know, and coached myself through this stuff. So yeah, so I guess I'll hand it over to Jana and we can open it up for some questions.
Okay, I think I solved my internet problem by going to a different room.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, sorry. Because you haven't frozen up at all, so I think I'm good. Okay, so the thing I was going to say to sum up all the things that Shannon just said is exactly what you said about becoming a student of this and becoming a student of our products. And we always say, like with the comp plan, you don't have to know the whole comp plan in order to get started. You don't have to know what every product does in order to share them. But the more you know, the better prepared you're going to be, and your business can only grow if you are prepared by knowing your products. And use your resources to get to know your products. Calls like this. You have a whole back office full of information about your products. In your success kit, you got cards that show each product, what they do, catalogs. The catalogs, if you read a catalog from front to back, you'll be able to see what the products do, a great description of the products. And as well as videos. We have a product video that Plex has put out. If you watch that video, you will learn so much more about the products. If you become a student of these products, you'll be able to do all of these things that Shannon just said. You'll be able to do them a lot better if you are a student and you know what the products do. You should know at least why our main products are different from anything else that they can get at the store. Because if they think they can get it at the store, there's no need for us. All of our products are different than anything they can get at the store. And so you need to learn why that is. Why are our products different? Why is the X Factor better? Like Shannon said, there's ways to find out why our X Factor is better than what you can buy at your local drugstore. Our Slim is better than any drink that any of the weight loss or whatever companies have out there. Ours is better. It's more natural. Almost all of our products are way more natural. That's the biggest difference, is that they're more natural and more healthy. But there's also other differences about each one of our products. And if you become a student of that and you learn the differences in our products and the details about our products, you're going to be so much more knowledgeable in your business, and your team is going to be stronger. Our team is very, very strong because we're so product savvy, and we have taught our downlines to be product savvy, and we love the products. And the more you know about the products, the more you're going to love them, and the more your customers are going to love them, because you're going to be able to tell them exactly why they should be loving these products, what the products do that's different. Use your resources. Huge, huge. Okay, so we are going to, there's a few questions that I jotted down, Shannon, while you were talking. One of them is that you were mentioned some sheets to give to customers to do their measurements or do their diet. Will you be able to share those?
Well, their measurements, it's just a basic thing I pulled off the internet on what to measure: their neck, their chest, their abdomen, their hips, their thighs, and their calves. Just to measure a basic measurement, and then also their arm around their bicep. I will measure their arm. Lots of women like that one. If they can lose inches in their arms, they're like, oh, yes. So.
Okay. So if a customer's long distance, what point do you, well, I mean, a phone date should either, it's going to be different for each person. It really all depends on what it is that they're trying to gain from our products. If it's just weight loss, it's going to be a shorter conversation. A lot of the things that you're going to talk about later on will be things after they start really feeling great from their triplex. Then you might want to talk to them about the X Factor vitamin or about the Mega X or whatever it is that at that point that they need to know. Also, a question was, what can you expect from a sample? That's a really great question. What I always tell people, what you can expect from a sample is that you can tell if you like the product, if you like the taste of the pink drink. You can tell how good it is. Most people don't understand that it tastes great. And you can tell how easy the system is to fit into your routine. Most likely, if they're doing a 3-day, they're not going to have huge results after 3 days, but they might feel something. They might sleep a little bit better, or they might have less cravings. But if they don't have any results, you need to prepare them in the beginning. If they don't have results from a sample, does not mean that they're not going to have results after a 30-day. And always remember that when somebody asks you about a sample, always tell them that our products are guaranteed for 60 days. So it's much better for them to do a 30-day of our products and know that they have that money back guaranteed than it is for them to do a 3-day trial pack. Some people just, they don't want to spend the money on a 30-day, but if they know they're going to get that money back, if they don't like it, it's a lot better, because more than likely they're going to stick with the products if they have 30-day supply of it than a 3-day to have them go back and order. I don't do a lot of 3-day, I don't do a lot of trial packs either, except for the ones that I keep on hand. I do keep some on hand so that if I have somebody that really wants to start the products like today, but by the second day, I'm telling them it's time to go, you need to go order so that you're not without your products. And you're going to want these products, and you might not be feeling anything the second day, but you don't want to be without them. So go ahead and order your 30-day. Now, usually when I give them the 3-day or sell them the 3-day, at that point I'll say, you know, you're going to want to try the 30-day. So I'm going to give you this just to hold you over until you get your 30-day in. And I very much encourage them to go order at that point.
Mm-hmm. Angelica asked a question. It's, do you ever have anyone that pushes away when you try to coach them? I personally, I try to set the precedent from the beginning that that the success or failure of them finding good health lies with them. And so my job is to make sure that I'm there to support them and to give them what they need. And the only way that I can do that is if I have an open line of communication with them. And like you said, I saw somebody say, you know, that family's the hardest. You are absolutely right. Family is the absolute hardest to coach because they think you don't know anything because you're still little Susie that ran around and jumped in their pool when you were 5 years old. So that's absolutely true. But I do try to hold that same precedent with my family. I let them know. I've told my dad on many occasions when I started with him, I said, I need you to trust what I'm telling you because I'm right and you're not right now. So, but that's my dad. That's a whole different ballgame when it's your parent. But yeah, so, you know, their success or failure in the business lies with them. And so it's important for you to have that open line of communication with them so that you can coach them and let them know what's going on and so that they can let you know what's going on. Because if they're not finding success, you absolutely need to know that because you need to figure out why they're not having success. It's your job as their independent ambassador and their health coach to find out why they're not having success. And you need to become a student and to find out, okay, they're not having success at this. What do I need to do? Do I need to up their product? Do I need to change their product? Do I need to pull something off that they're taking? There's always a reason for something that's going on in their body. It's your job to kind of figure that out. And I know you may be saying, well, I'm new at this and I don't know how to do all that. I didn't either. I had to learn. And that's just going to take time and you can't get frustrated at yourself. You just have to say, okay, self, I'm going to figure this out. And if I can't figure it out, I'm going to call somebody up and I'm going to ask someone or find the answer to figure this out. So
I think the best thing to do when you're troubleshooting, whether that's you're coaching somebody on the products or coaching somebody on the business, is to ask questions.
Absolutely.
And, just show me the money is what I say. Like Shannon said, you know, have them keep a food diary. Mm-hmm. If somebody wants to come to me and say, you know, I'm not losing any weight, the first thing I'm going to ask them is, how many calories are you taking in? You know, what are you doing to be proactive with your weight loss? Show me a food diary and show me what you've been eating. Same way with coaching on the business. If they come and say, well, you know, my business isn't growing. Okay, show me what you're doing every day. Show me your calendar. What does your day look like? What do your business hours look like? And I think that's important for us to know that, like Shannon said, it's not our responsibility, it's their responsibility, and they have to know that. It's going to be up to them as to what they do. And the proof is in what they do daily. That's the thing with the business or the products. The proof is in what you do consistently daily. That's what your outcome is going to be, and that's what they have to know. So
and somebody's asking, what customer forms do you use? This is my customer form. It's a notebook. I write my customer's name in the book, and I write it down, what's going on, what I've talked to them about, what I've discussed. And I have that notebook and normally I would put it in a spreadsheet, but I like to carry this around with me in case they call me or text me so I can go back and look at it. I can't always have an Excel spreadsheet with me when I'm in the car or when I'm out at cheer practice or whatever. But normally I take this when I go in the car, and if I need it, I can go out to the car and get it fairly quickly. I literally just write their name at the top and then their information and what we've done and gone through. So I'm very high tech, very.
Usually she really is high tech.
Like I said, I like to carry it.
Right. We'll go one more question, and that is, what is a good schedule for people taking the products? Our answers might be different to that. Shannon uses that, that whole system, what she does. I also ask a lot of those same exact questions. We've never actually had this conversation before, so there was a lot that I learned that I took away from that. But, and I ask a lot of those same questions, but the main thing I try to do is to start everyone on the triplex. And the reason why I do that is because I think the triplex is needed by every single person if they're able to take it. That system has been studied. It's had proof of results. It's life-changing. It's good for weight loss. It's good for overall health. And so that's what I try to steer most people to. There's a few instances where I might do something different, but for the most part, that's what I do, because I think people get the biggest results health-wise for triplex. And so that's what I do. When after they're a customer for a while, or after they're an ambassador and they love the triplex, then I might start asking them some other questions. What multivitamin are you on? Did you know ours is different, that it has aloe and it absorbs way better than a regular multivitamin? Are you taking a multivitamin? I may do what Shannon did and say, how are you sleeping? If they say, oh, I'm sleeping a lot better with the triplex, well, you could sleep even better if you added the Mega X. Did you know everyone should be taking omegas? And if you're taking a fish oil, you can replace that with our plant-based omega. If you're not taking one, you should be, because everyone for heart and brain health needs to be on a mega product, on an omega product. So I may coach them, in the future with those kind of things. If somebody comes and says, you know what, I want to be healthy, budget's not an issue, then I'll start them out on the triplex, the Mega X, and the X Factor, because that system is going to give them a big bang for their buck.